Okay, brothers and sisters, I won't take a lot of time. Brothers and sisters, all one has to do is turn on the news for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to be brutally reminded once again of the realities of racial division that is still plaguing our society today. And we can try to deny it, we can try to sweep it under the rug, but until we are able to face the fact that racism still exists in America, regardless of what color you are, until we are able to face that fact, nothing's going to change. You know, J. Edgar Hoover, who was the leader of the FBI during Martin Luther King's time, referred to Dr. King once as the most dangerous Negro in America. He was dangerous. But why did he say that? Why did J. Edgar Hoover call Martin Luther King the peace lover, the peacemaker, the integrationist? Why did he refer to Dr. King as a threat, dangerous? He didn't say it about Malcolm X. He didn't say it about Elijah Muhammad. He didn't say it about Huey P. Newton. He said it about Dr. King. And it's my opinion, brothers and sisters, that he considered Dr. King a threat because he knew that for the first time in the history of America, a man of color could actually influence a change in public policy. Because not only did Dr. King have the support of the black community, but he also had the support of the white community. He was dangerous, the most peaceful civil rights leader out there. He was dangerous. Brothers and sisters, let me ask you this. Is racism a learned behavior, or is it an inherited behavior? Meaning, are we born racist, regardless of what color or national background? Are we born as racists? No. Because if we were, brothers and sisters, if society was such a way that it affected the human psyche, the way we think, making us predisposed to being racist, we'd be wasting our time. There'd be no reason to be here. Dr. King would have given his most ultimate sacrifice, what he did and ended up dying for. Would have had no reason. There'd be no reason behind it. But brothers and sisters, I don't think that we were born racist. Call me naive, call me immature, call me dumb, call me whatever. But I don't think that anyone, whatever color, anyone is born racist. It's a learned behavior. And so, the change begins within us. If we want to, going back to the realities of racism, racial division, if we want to bring about change, the change begins with us first. It's up to you, brothers and sisters. Yes, we can pass laws. Yes, the government can pass laws. Laws are good. But at the end of the day, it's up to us as members of this society. And the fact that many of you are here says a lot about you. And it says a lot about our great city, that the mayor is here. And the fact that Brother Ron is doing this event, it says a lot. So, brothers and sisters, Dr. King had a dream. He had a dream. He took it to the grave. He died for that dream. Do you have a dream too? Do you have a dream too? What are you going to do when you go back home today and you talk about everyone you heard speak? You talk about Dr. King, to your kids or with your parents. What are you going to do tomorrow? Are you going to go to sleep thinking about Dr. King and waking up in the morning having already forgotten about him because his day's over? Or are you going to take his message with you to work, to school, to church? What are you going to do? It's up to us, brothers and sisters. And I think that if we can finally put aside our labels, Republican, Democrat, Independent, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, Polynesian, male, female, old, young, if we could put those labels aside for a minute and finally come together like Dr. King wanted us to and continue his dream, I think we got it set. And I think that we won't see in the news, we won't be brutally reminded that racism still exists in this society. I end with the words of Dr. King. It was April 3rd, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. King spoke before a crowd in what is now known as the I've Been to the Mountaintop speech. And bear in mind, brothers and sisters, that the very next day, Dr. King was shot and killed on the balcony of the Lorraine Hotel. This was his very last speech that he gave before he died, for his dream. I want you to listen to the words of Dr. King, and you tell me if it wasn't as if he could see what his fate would be that next day. Dr. King spoke before a crowd in Mason Temple, which is the headquarters of the Church of God in Christ, which is one of the nation's largest, predominantly African-American denominations. Dr. King spoke before the crowd, and he said, and I quote, "All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I had lived in China or Russia or any other totalitarian country, maybe I'd understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I'd understand the denial of certain First Amendment privileges because they hadn't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of the press. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for right. And so just as we say, we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we're not going to let any illegal injunctions turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anyone, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. And so I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Happy birthday, Dr. Martin.